All right, and we are back. 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 Welcome. All right, and we are back. And today we're back with another reaction video. And this one is actually recommended by a viewer. Your name should appear somewhere here. And we're actually going to be doing something that I haven't done in quite a bit of time, and I do apologize, but we're getting into some religious content, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. You heard it here first. And we're actually going to be going looking at a channel I haven't seen before. It's actually recently recommended, as you already heard before, and it is Extra History, and we're going to go over the Buddhist expansion. So yes, we're going to be going over some Buddhism today. It's going to be a fun one, ladies and gentlemen. So get your thinking caps on, get ready to learn. And also, if you haven't already, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to the channel, because you never know what I'll be putting out next. Also, if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to Extra History. You know, I'm sure they're going to make incredible content. This is part 1, so I imagine this is going to be like an ongoing thing. So we're going to be learning more and more. This is going to be just like, I'm assuming, like an introduction, you know, giving us the quick notes on the beginning of Buddhism. So I can't wait to, you know, learn more. Obviously, if you guys watch the channel, you already know I went over Buddhism and, you know, with useful charts and other videos. But hey, nothing like learning some more. I might learn something here that I've never heard from before. So let's get right into it, ladies and gentlemen. But before we do, I do have to mention this one thing, and it's, you know, I never bring this up, but if you guys don't like, comment, and subscribe, more importantly, subscribe, YouTube will come through that door right over there, and they will. Extra History, the Buddhist expansion.
Up from hell the demons came, clawing onto the earth realm at the call of their god. Some are blue-skinned and tusked, carrying war clubs, while others have fanged mouths in their bellies, breathe fire, or swing dismembered skeletons.
Wait, fanged mouths and breathe fire? Like 2 mouths and one of them breathes fire. Okay. So guys, we are officially learning things that I did not learn in other videos before. I didn't know this is like how it starts. Is this like a vision of the end? Either way, this is interesting. This is interesting.
Some use serpents as weapons, or have snakes emerging from their mouths.
Oh, wow.
They
both.
swarm across the earth at the behest of Mara, the one who delights in destruction, god of desire, and the circle of death and rebirth. He marshals the demons mounted on his great war elephant, with weapons and fireballs in each of his 6 hands. For Mara has heard that a mortal is about to discover the 8-fold secret, the thing that can stop the wheel of the cosmos, the cycle of death and rebirth that keeps humans in torment.
I'm not gonna lie to y'all, this sounds like the setup for a fire anime. And if this is like, you know, obviously this is people's whole culture and religion here, and beliefs, so I'm not like trying to say anything negative here. Obviously it's not a negative statement, but like, I don't want anybody to interpret this in a bad way or anything, but this sounds super cool. Like, I want to watch this as an anime right now. I need the people who animated like Jujutsu Kaisen to start working on this. You can call it the Buddhist expansion. So shout out to Extra History, because that is a great name for the anime that should be based off of the story of Buddhist origins, because this is already dope. I'm 42 seconds in and I already like, I need this, like I need to see this a lot.
So he sends his uncountable furies to swarm toward a tree in a land called India, and at the man sitting serenely below it. Thanks so much to Skillshare for helping to support today's historic tale.
Guys, make sure y'all go to Skillshare. Make sure you're using their link to get some deals off. You'll get 1 month free. All you got to do is go to Skillshare.com, put in their code You know, because what do you want to learn about? You'll learn everything there. Learn everything at Skillshare. Go to Skillshare.com. Go to the link that is going to be in their description. Remember, link will be in the description below for their channel, and then they'll have another link below that, I'm sure.
By the numbers, Buddhism isn't one of Earth's largest religions. At around 500 million adherents, it comes in a distant fourth place behind Christianity, Islam, and Hinduism, whose populations number in the billions. Yet Buddhism is all around us. It's part of our everyday lives, from inspiring some of our favorite sci-fi franchises to developing martial arts that millions practice to being at the center of meditation apps that you might use to fall asleep.
True. This is capitalism, though, guys. I don't know if this is like, I don't know if real Buddhists would be happy about this one right here, though. They might be a little bit like, yo, are you really just like using our whole thing just to get like a quick buck? Like, shame on you. I'm sure some of them are like cool with it, but some of them are probably like, shame. How dare you profit off of like something that everyone could use for free or something, you know, like it's meant for everyone and you're profiting off of it. Shame. But other ones are probably cool about it.
Sleep. It's a tradition with a global reach, whose concepts and philosophies have influenced billions, whether or not they subscribe to it. Seriously, once you start looking, you can see it's all around us.
Not the Avatar, the best kids show. It is 100% true. Guys, believe it or not, I literally just got finished rewatching the last 4 episodes of Avatar right before I did this reaction. I was just at home and I was like, I want something to watch. Last 4 episodes of Avatar, incredible as always. The scene between like it was Zuko and his sister. What is her name? Why am I like blanking on her name right now? Azula. Yeah, between Zuko and Azula, that fight is incredible. I personally like it a little bit more than I like the, you know, the Fire Lord Ozai and Aang fight. They're both great fights, but it's just something, the music, the, you know, the history, the build up between like the, you know, Azula and Zuko. It's just like, oh man, it's just incredible. It's incredible. Why'd you have to bring this back up? You made me rant about this guy. Come on.
Despite this, Buddhism is often misunderstood, partially because in its history, it has been many things. A flexible tradition, it alters and fuses with every culture it encounters, meaning that its practice changed significantly as it radiated out from the Indian core. In fact, images of the Buddha himself have changed as well, so the Buddha of India can look quite different from that of Japan or China.
Well, isn't the Buddha like a title? So it's not necessarily like a specific person unless you're talking about I can't think of his name, but there's like one guy who was like the first Buddha. But I'm pretty sure Buddha might be like a title. I don't know if it's like a specific person. I think it's just like a, you know, like a name place, you know.
But as Buddhists tell it, it all began in what is now southern Nepal.
Okay.
6th century BCE.
Okay.
The day she became pregnant, the queen dreamed of a white elephant with 6...
Wait, who? The queen? The queen of this part of India. Okay. The 6-horned elephant. Nice. Interesting dream.
Tusks entering her side. It's a sign, one of many, that the child in her womb is special. Even so, the birth is nothing like she expects. She doesn't go into labor, nor have contractions.
What?
Instead, the child arises unbidden from her side, landing upright on his feet.
Okay, now. Okay. I haven't heard of this one before. This is a brand new one for me, ladies and gentlemen. He came out of her side and just started walking, ladies and gentlemen. That is, and lotus flowers apparently are popping out from where he landed. Like this is an origin story. I'm telling you, the more the more they talk about this, the more I think this anime should be coming in. Like, if y'all haven't made one already, go ahead and create one. I know there's got to be. I'm sure there's like an animated version, like a cartoon. I'm talking about like anime. I need like anime action. Those demons going after Buddha. Maybe he's like Aang, so he doesn't need to like necessarily fight. He just deflects everything. You know, freaking Buddha on him, like hitting the Buddha on him right quick. You know, just like, yo, you can't touch me. So that would be, bro, this anime would be so cool. Also, this is a very interesting origin story.
Taking 7 steps with lotus flowers blooming beneath where he walks, he comes to a stop and declares, "This is my last rebirth." They named him
Oh, wow.
Prince Siddhartha, meaning he
Oh,
who
wow.
achieves his goal. And he was the hope of the Shakya dynasty, who wanted this new prince, Siddhartha Gautama, to lead them to glory. So, when a wise man examined the baby and declared, based on body marks, that the child would either be a great king or a great religious leader, his father had a clear preference.
I mean, I think you didn't even need to really look at him. I think you could just like be like, yo, he came out of her side and like he walked his first 7 steps and lotus flowers appeared out of the ground. I'm pretty sure you don't even need a special smart scientist guy. A normal person off the street probably would have been like, yeah, he's about to either become like a great leader or like a great he's going to be great at whatever he does. Like, I don't think he can fail. I'm pretty sure most people would agree this guy probably would not, he can't fail. Like, who would disagree with that?
He would raise his son in royal splendor, surrounded by pleasure. Siddhartha wanted for nothing. He wore fine silks and earrings so heavy with jewels that the lobes of his ears permanently stretched. His days were full of fire.
Oh, he had gauges. Guys, he invented having gauges. If you're a person with gauges in your ear and you regretted them, well, sorry, but he clearly didn't. Did you get gauges from having your jewels be just so like heavy on your earlobe that it just stretched it out, or did you just like stretch it out with those gauging tools? Yeah, I didn't think so. You used the tools. He just had money. There's a difference, but that's why he's not gonna regret his. Now, I guess the real truth of this is that I'm ranting.
Fine food, parties, good company, and pleasures of all sorts. He married his most beautiful cousin and had a fine son of his own, learning the joys of parenthood.
Okay, people of the past, okay? I need you to listen up. If you lived in the past and you're somehow watching this video through some type of like alternate dimension or like time travel, I gotta tell you this. Stop banging your cousins. It's not the best idea. Just find other people. It's cool. Just find people who aren't related to you. It's actually super cool. It's really cool. It's like super dope. Like, try it out, people of the past, especially ancient kings and queens and monarchy. Like, if you are part of a royal family, I get it. I get what you're trying to do. It's not going to work out. As the person from the future, I'm telling you, it doesn't work out. Stop doing it. Okay? Just find people who don't have your last name. Okay? That's all you got to do. So again, if you are in the past and you're magically or somehow through a crazy bit of technology watching this video, stop doing it. That also goes for people in the present and the future, ladies and gentlemen. Don't bang your cousins.
Parenthood. But the prince also grew up isolated, never having been told about sorrow, sadness, illness, aging, or death.
Oh, wow.
Then one day.
Now, 3 of those things are going to be very, very difficult to like not, how are you going to not explain that? Dad, why are you older than me? Deflect, just give him some more jewels or something.
He went for a fateful ride outside the palace grounds and was shocked by what he encountered. First,
Poverty.
He met a sick man. Then he met an old man, and most shocking of all to him, he saw the terrible stillness of a corpse wrapped in a funeral shawl. In a single day, he'd beheld the suffering of humanity that he had been shielded from all his life.
Wait till he watches a sick old man die. That's like that's like the next step right there. You've seen 3. Now you actually get the ability to see all 3 of those things in one.
And only then, when he met a wandering ascetic walking along the road, did he realize that this was the path for him. Upon returning to the palace, Siddhartha renounced all his belongings, his possessions, his power, even his family, and left to find the answers for why people suffered. Now, let's pause here for a moment, because I've seen your hand up since the whole miraculous birth thing, and I do know what you are probably saying right now. Man, this doesn't sound exactly like history. And look, you are absolutely right. While historians generally agree that Siddhartha Gautama existed, actual details of his life are few and far between.
Guys. We're not going to question the history right now, okay? That's not what we're all about on this channel here, just randomly questioning the histories of things. This is about figuring out the origins based off of what the people who, believe in this are telling me. I'm going to go based off of their beliefs. I'm not going to be like, oh, what do some European historians think about this? I don't care. I want to know what the people are saying about the thing. I'll listen to that and I'll form my own conclusions. This is only a part one. So, I can't even give you the full explanation on this right now, I haven't even fully heard of it. But also, yeah, I'm sure there's some details about this, that maybe he didn't take 7 steps. Maybe it was only 5 steps. Maybe only lotus flowers grew after the first 2 steps. Maybe they only grew after the one. Maybe they just grew in the places he walked eventually. I don't know. But I'm listening to what they got to say.
We're not even sure whether he lived in the 5th or 6th century.
Okay.
Though what we do know a little about is his times. Contrary to legendary accounts, the area probably didn't have a hereditary monarchy. Siddhartha's family were likely aristocrats in what's known as the Shakya Republic, a political unit that governed a part of what is now the border between India and Nepal. In that system, aristocratic members of the Shakya clan, like Siddhartha's father, would gather in an assembly and vote on matters of war, legislation, and to elect leaders. Though this radical egalitarianism among the upper classes did not extend to those lower in the caste system ruling India at the time.
Makes sense.
Which does put an interesting spin on the legendary story of Siddhartha, whose religious preachings would emphasize equality, essentially bringing this elite egalitarianism to the poor. However, we know so little about the historical Buddha or the Shakya kingdom that all of this should be considered extremely speculative. So with all of that in mind, let's get back to the story. Siddhartha lived years as an ascetic, starving himself until his eyes sunk in his skull and you could see the veins on his skeletal frame. But this brought him no closer to the question of why humans suffered. In fact, he realized this was only the opposite extreme of his life in the palace. So, when a poor man offered him a bowl of rice, he took it. He would pursue a middle path, he decided, moderation in all things. And after wandering, he sat beneath a Bodhi tree and meditated for 49 days. And on the 49th night, as he teetered on the edge of enlightenment, that's when the women came.
Oh my gosh. See, guys, this is where a lot of you would fail. And when I say a lot of you, I mean myself included. 3 of them, though, with the Princess Jasmine outfits on? Bro.
3 beautiful maidens, moving with unearthly sensuality.
Also, don't you got to go raise your family? I feel like that's causing some sadness and suffering as well. Again, not to offend anybody here, but like, dude's got a whole wife and kid and a cousin. He got, it's like a lot right there. Like, you got to go take care of your family, bro.
Danced around him in an endless circle, each passing their licentious dance to the other as they beckoned Siddhartha to get up and join them. Oh, but he knew them to be the daughters of Mara, the god of pleasure, death, and rebirth. If he joined them, the pleasure he felt would be illusionary and temporary. It would be a cycle of bliss, guilt, and emptiness. Heck, even the pleasure itself would be undercut by the knowledge that the high would lead to a low. So Siddhartha did not join them. Mara, furious, unleashed his arm.
That's actually good. That's actually a really good thing to remember here. And that goes around for people who want to be involved in those lifestyles where they're just, they don't necessarily have like a romantic partner, so to say. They just like are with a lot of different people. And you just go from person to person. And you do end up in that exact cycle of like temporary highs, the sadness and, the regret sometimes. And then like, again, back to like emptiness or loneliness. And then it's like a cycle. You just keep going back into it. And it could be a trap for a lot of people. It's a reason a lot of people are like sad and lonely. It's like they get trapped in those cycles and the highs feel really high, but the lows feel really low, and it's unfortunate. Now, again, he could avoid this if he goes back home to his family. Okay. Just go back home to your family, go raise your kid, Go have fun with your wife and cousin. They're the same person, so there you go. And then yeah, just enjoy that life, and you won't even be tempted by all this madness here. You won't have to deal with this guy and his daughters.
Army of demons to terrify Siddhartha out of his reverie. They clanged shields, fired arrows, and charged him with chariots. In response, Siddhartha calmly reached out and touched the ground to display his solidity in meditation. And in sympathy, the ground trembled in an earthquake that banished the demonic army, causing the horned beasts to flee in terror. And as the sun rose, the man who had been a prince opened his eyes, not as Siddhartha Gautama, but as the Buddha, the awakened one. He awoke from the illusionary dream of the physical world, its pleasures and its sadness, and he had had his great revelation. The answer to the question of suffering was the Four Noble Truths. 1. Existence is suffering. Humanity was stuck in a cycle of death and rebirth, meaning an endless cycle of suffering. To live was to experience sickness, pain, and death. Even a comfortable life was an illusion, as every joy begets sadness when it ends. And every moment of happiness is also a moment of sorrow, since we know the happiness is fleeting. The world is always moving, and everything is transitory. 2. The cause of suffering is desire. We suffer because we desire things. Desire to gain them, to hold on to them, to mourn them when they are gone. It is the nature of the world for things to come and go, and it is our own tendency to hold on to them that makes us suffer. Desire.
I definitely feel like I've heard these four. I know I've heard these four things before, but I like the way he's explaining them. I feel like the explanation of it here. I like the visual. I like seeing all the stuff, the visual representation of desire. It actually kind of hits home for me right now.
Desire being an unquenchable thirst. 3. To end suffering, you must end desire. And 4. The way to cease desire is to follow the Eightfold Path.
Yep.
Now, we're not going to go through every point of this, but these are 8 principles that can be broken.
Yes, I remember this. Right view, right resolve, right speech, right action, right livelihood, right effort, right mindfulness, right concentration. Guys, these are actually really great paths right here. So remember, view the world the correct way. Resolve the things in the right way. Have the correct resolve within yourself. Have the correct speech, but don't just have the correct speech. Also have the correct actions. Make the right choices in life. Put in the right effort in the right places. Be mindful in the right places, and also concentrate on the right things to concentrate on. Now, that still sounds vague when you say it, but if you know what the right thing is, I guess when you know what the right thing is, then this all makes a lot more sense.
Broken down into 3 groups: moral behavior, self-discipline, and meditation. Directives that apply to everyone, but with a few stricter rules that apply specifically to monks. And as Buddha acquired all of this knowledge, sitting under that tree, he experienced the state of nirvana, where his desire was blown out like a candle flame. A state of peace where his mind no longer raced and he was free from worldly concerns. He could have stayed there, enjoying it forever, but he knew this was not his role. For he was to spread his insight as a teacher and ensure the whole world would be free from suffering. So Buddha arose from his nirvana, went to find his students, and the history of Buddhism began.
Now, was he the first person to really meditate for real? I think that's a good was he the first person to actually heavily dedicate 40 something days to meditation? Were there monks before him? Well, yeah, because he saw another monk, didn't he? What were they doing? Was he going through kind of the same things that they were talking about? Did they kind of know this and they just didn't reach the enlightened path yet? Or did they not know yo, I really just got to meditate for longer? And then they never became it. Were they doing it for a different reason? Were they this is just good for you? Or was he the first person to find enlightened? So he was the first enlightened person, but was he the first person to attempt to get enlightened through meditation? I guess is what I'm saying. Especially 40 something days of meditation. Does he go back to see his family? That baby's crying. His cousin's yo, where's my cousin at / husband? That baby is yo, what's up with my, would that baby be his cousin also? This is why you don't get into don't get into your cousin, ladies and gentlemen. But yeah, wow, crazy. I have so many questions.
And while I am not a Buddhist myself, while producing this series, I actually couldn't help but reflect on how I interact with the world, both professionally and creatively. Which then led me to this class by Stephanie Name entitled Silence and Curiosity, A Guide to Self-Reflection and Self-Discovery. Because while I may not be enlightened, I do have Skillshare. Of course, by now you've heard.
Yeah, my boys at Skillshare. Make sure y'all go to Skillshare.com. You'll be able to learn all types of information, including things on how to enlighten yourself. You can learn music fundamentals, from this guy. Look at his afro. He looks like he knows what he's talking about. You can learn literally how to do art. You could look at this
industry that you'd love,
Bam.
But you really don't know where to start.
Yeah, you don't know where to start. So this is where you start, ladies and gentlemen. You get 7 days free. You get to sign in with a lot of different options here. Look at what they got, the different classes and courses. These are probably some of the ones he actually did. And then you'll get to meet people.
And honestly, that I love recommending to folks.
He loves recommending it, and I love recommending it too. Because you know what? If you guys know me, I love recommending things from the promos. And what I'm going to recommend for you is to get 1 free month of Skillshare. Now, all you got to do is go to Skillshare.com, and then you can put in the code from Extra History. Now, if you want that code,
will be starting helping out. You can check it all out, no cost to you. And
no
when
cost.
you do, not only will you be directly helping our channel continue to make the content that we love to create, but you yourself will be starting.
That's right.
1,000 folks at zero risk.
That's
and
right.
Explore
Look
their
at
inspiring course of catalogs
Guys.
for yourself. The first 1,000 folks to use.
Look at this. First 1,000 people.
Our link below will get a.
All you got to do is use their link. There's not even a code. It's just a link, ladies and gentlemen. Go click on their link. The link for their channel is going to be in my description, and they're going to have the link for their description. Get on that. First 1,000 people, become a member, get a free trial.
Not
Come
only
on.
will you be directly
and you're going to support all these. Look at the people. Look at the diversity. I love this group here. Look at them. Look how happy everyone looks together. They all have smiles. Even the people upside down, I guess technically they might have frowns, but you can tell that they're not frowning. There's a kid here. That kid is part of the thing too. They help somehow. I know it looks like they're not frowning. They're actually happy. You could tell based off the context clues. Look at her eyebrows. They look those are happy eyebrows.
To make whatever you're passionate about creating professionally or even personally.
Yes.
So click that link below. And Casey Mustra, Dominic
Yes.
Valenciana, Joseph Blame, Kuya Koi, and Skylar Holmes were all legendary patrons.
Incredible. Hey, that was actually a really great video, and I'm definitely gonna do a part 2 to this. How many parts do they have in general? Because I want to know more about this as well. I like their way they explain it. I enjoy the artistic style of what they're doing. For me personally, I think it helps me visualize all the things a little bit better when they have the animated style. Again, I am brain rot from cartoons and anime for over 30 years now. So it's just one of those things. When you animate it, it's going to hit home for me a little bit more as well. So I love this. This was a great video. Thank you to whoever recommended this to me. I'm going to put your name, I'm going to put your comment in the video. Probably it's going to be at the beginning, but I could put it again right there if you want. So thank you once again. You were incredible for recommending this to me, and I'm definitely going to watch this series. So yeah, guys, for the next one, please join me next time. When will these come out? You will see. When will they actually be coming out? I know, but I see me explaining the whole cycle to you guys right now would be so complicated, and I don't want to you guys only got so much time in your day. So I will get these videos out to you when they get to you. As always, if you made it this far in the video, I do want to say thank you. I love you. Bye.